Six Sigma. Sigma is the Greek symbol for the statistical measurement of dispersion called standard deviation. Deviation is nothing but it is the variation. Okay, so we want to achieve something. There is a target. If there is deviation from the target, okay, that we can measure with the help of the concept of standard deviation. For that, we use sigma. It is the best measurement of process variability because the smaller the deviation value, the less variability in the process. Okay, if the deviation value is smaller, that is an indication of lesser process variability, and that will indicate the process is in control. If the process is in control, we can get quality products. There is a relation between process variability, standard deviation, and whether the process is in control or out of control, and the quality of the product. Figure next slide, there is a figure that will show a process that is normally distributed and centered with the upper and lower specification limits established at plus or minus 6 sigma. For this situation, 99.99998, okay, so 99.69 followed by 8% of the product or service will be between specifications, and the non-conformance rate will be 0.002 parts per million. If you consider 6 sigma plus or minus 6 sigma in the normal distribution, okay, that will cover almost all. Okay, so it is excluding only two units of a product per billion. If you are considering 1 billion products, okay, out of 1 billion only 2 units will be defective. Okay, that is the meaning. It can cover to that much extent. So this is the typical normal distribution curve, and it is having upper specification limit and lower specification limit, and these specification limits are placed at 6 sigma. You can see plus 6 sigma and minus 6 sigma. Okay, if you are considering a specification limit as plus or minus 6 sigma, then it will cover 99 point, so it is 0.69 followed by 8. Okay, so that means only 0.002 units per million. Okay, per billion, if you consider, only 2 are defective per billion. Okay, so similarly, instead of considering plus or minus 6 sigma, if you consider plus or minus 1 sigma, okay, then so these are the limits. This is the lower specification limit, and this is the upper specification limit for plus or minus 1 sigma. Okay, if you are considering this as the upper specification limit and lower specification limit, then so you are going to get 68.7% products are acceptable products within the limits, and remaining 31.3%, okay, so they will fall out of the limit. Okay, similarly, if you consider plus or minus 2 sigma, okay, this is the plus 2 sigma and this is the minus 2 sigma. If you consider this, okay, whatever products we are going to produce, okay, 95.45% of the products will fall within the limit. That means these are acceptable products. Remaining 4.55% will be defective. Similarly, if you go for producing products by specifying the limit of plus or minus 3 sigma, okay, then 99.73% of products will fall within this range. Remaining are defective. Okay, if you consider plus or minus 4 sigma, okay, then that will cover 99.9937%. Similarly, if you consider plus or minus 5 sigma, okay, so that will cover 99.44 followed by 43. Okay, so like this we can consider if the process fall as a normal distribution curve where it is centered. Process is centered means mean, median and mode will be at the center. Okay, in that case, so 99.69 followed by 8. Okay, so will be in that. So I will, there will be some disturbance. Okay, I will wait for 30 seconds. Okay, so here, if you consider plus or minus 1 sigma, we can get 68.7% of the total produced products. Okay, so as standards. Okay, next, according to the Six Sigma philosophy, so I will wait for 1 more minute. I am doing class from home. Okay, there is disturbance, so I will continue later. Okay, next, according to the Six Sigma philosophy, processes rarely stay centered. The center tends to shift above and below the target. Okay, in the previous case, this is the center, this is the target. Okay, and when you plot graph, okay, you are getting a normal distribution curve like this, where most of the products you have produced or most of the components you have manufactured, okay, most of them are to the target. Okay, when you get most of the products, maximum number of components to the target, then you can get a process centered like this. Okay, suppose, or but practically or in most of the situation, so you don't get this mean or mode median at the center. So there is always, there will be a variation. So according to Six Sigma philosophy, processes rarely stay centered. So like this, if they stay centered, that is good. We can get most of the products to the target. Most of the components can be manufactured to the target. So if we are able to get this median mode, okay, at the center. But so practically, so processes rarely stay centered. The center tends to shift above and below the target. So here, this is the target. Okay, mu is the m or mu is the target. It is mean, median. Okay, this is the target. But you can see we are getting a normal distribution curve. It is a normal distribution curve and it is symmetric to the left and right. But so the location of this mean, okay, is different. So here the center tends to shift above and below the target. So here it is above. This is the actual mean. Okay, here we should get the peak, but it is towards the right. Okay, if it is towards the right, then it has shifted above. Okay, if it is towards the left, it has shifted below. Okay, figure shows a process that is normally distributed. Since we are getting the normal curve, it is normally distributed, but has shifted within a range of plus or minus 1.5, that is 1.5 above and 1.5 sigma below the target. Okay, so that is the meaning. Suppose if this happen, okay, if you get a normal distribution curve and if it is not, if the process is not centered, if it is off centered like this, then so what percentage of products are within the acceptable limit and what percentage of components are out of the acceptable limit? So that is given by this table. So non-conformance rate and process capability, we are going to discuss about process capability in upcoming slides. When the process is off center by plus or minus 1.5 sigma. Okay, so for this case, if you after plotting graphs by taking the values, okay, suppose if you are producing a component, okay, cylindrical component using turning operation, okay, so if the target value is 18 mm diameter, okay, and if the tolerance limit is plus or minus 0.5 mm, for example, that means the you want, actually you have to get a cylindrical component which is having a diameter 18 mm, but if you are able to produce components having diameter 17.5 to 18.5, that also can be accepted. Okay, so here target value is 18 mm. Okay, acceptable limits are 17.5 and 18.5. Okay, you are able to produce within that range. Okay. Next, but so if you consider percentage conformance means, so what percentage of the products which will fall within plus or minus 1 sigma? Okay, so if you consider plus or minus 6 sigma, everything will fall within that. Suppose if you consider plus or minus 1 sigma, okay, so this is minus 1 sigma and this is plus 1 sigma. Okay, so the percentage of components that will fall within this range will be only 30.23%. Okay, if you consider plus or minus 2 sigma, okay, the percentage of components that will fall within this range will be 69.13%. Similarly, if you go for plus or minus 3 sigma, okay, so you will get 93.32. Like that, it has different percentage values. Okay, finally what you can observe is, okay, you can compare with this. So when the process is centered like this, that means most of the components are manufactured to the target value. Okay, that is the meaning of process is centered. Okay, in that case, even if you take plus or minus 1 sigma, 68.7% of whatever components you have manufactured, they are acceptable. That means they are good products. Whereas if the process is off centered, so that means if the peak is not situated at the mean or the target value, okay, then you can see plus or minus 1 sigma. If you consider specification limits as plus or minus 1 sigma, only 30.23% of products are acceptable. Remaining almost 70% are defective. Okay, that's why in statistical process control, always engineers will work hard to keep the process centered, or in order to bring this peak towards mean. Okay, so that the number of defectives will be less. Okay, next, process capability. Control limits are established as a function of the averages. Okay, if you consider any normal distribution curve, so there will be upper limit and lower limit. These limits for average, okay, not for individual values. So this will represent average overall lot, okay, overall units manufactured in a batch. Specifications are the permissible variation in the size of the part and are for individual values. Okay, specifications are for individual components or parts which are manufactured. Control limits are for overall lot or overall batch, or it is for design. You have to mute yourself. Okay. Next, the specification or tolerance limits are established by the specification or tolerance limits are established by design engineers to meet a particular function. Next, there is a figure that shows that the location of the specifications is optional and is not related to any of the other features in the figure. Okay, so that we'll see in the next figure. The control limits, process capability, or another name for that is process spread, distribution of averages, and distribution of individual values are interdependent. They are determined by the process, whereas specifications have an optional location. Okay, here you can define specification according to the requirement of the company or according to wish of the engineers who are working in that organization. Okay, so that is the upper specification limit and lower specification limit. Whereas process capability, okay, control limits, distribution of averages, and distribution of individual values, these are interdependent. Okay, so control limits, process capability, they are interdependent. That you will see by looking at the equation of capability index, where we are considering tolerance and Six Sigma. Okay. When the process is in statistical control, process capability is equal to Six Sigma. Okay, so being a manufacturing company, so the process always it should be in statistical control. Okay, no company want to produce products when the process is out of control. Okay, so that's why Six Sigma is the standard. When the process is statistical control, process capability is equal to Six Sigma. So we want to produce products when the process is in statistical control. Okay, relationship of process capability to tolerance. So tolerance limit, so is this is an example where you have tolerance limits, lower specification limit and upper specification limit, but you are able to produce within this range. Okay, that means even though tolerance limit is wider, okay, since the process is in control, you are able to produce products nearer to the target value, closer to the target value. Okay, where acceptable limits are wider, but because the process is in statistical control, you are able to produce almost all products, okay, nearer to the mean value. So like this, then that will represent the capability of the process. The capability of process is it is able to produce products, okay, nearer to the target or nearer to the mean value, okay, where the acceptable limits are wider. Tolerance is the difference between the upper specification limit and the lower specification limit. So this USL minus LSL, upper specification limit and lower specification limit, this difference will give you tolerance. Process capability and the tolerance are combined to form a capability index that is denoted by CP. Okay, so this is the process capability index CP that is given by tolerance by Six Sigma. Tolerance is nothing but upper specification limit minus lower specification limit divided by Six Sigma will give you capability index. We are considering Six Sigma because when the process is in statistical control, okay, we are able to produce components within the range of this Six Sigma. Next, if the capability index is greater than 1, okay, if this is CP is the capability index, suppose if you are getting this CP greater than 1, okay, when you can get a CP greater than 1 is So when the tolerance limit is greater than 6 sigma, okay, if the tolerance upper specification limit and lower specification limit, if it is greater than 6 sigma, then obviously this value of CP will become more than 1. Capability index is greater than 1, the process is capable of meeting the specifications. If the index is less than 1, the process is not capable of meeting the specifications. Okay, that means if the tolerance limit is less than 6 sigma, okay, so we are not going to get the required control. Okay, so if the capability index is greater than 1, the process is capable of meeting the specifications. If the index is less than 1, the process is not capable of meeting the specifications. You will get defects. Okay. A process capability value, capability index value CP of 1.33 has become a default standard, de facto standard, and some organizations are using a 2 value, a value of 2. So comparatively, the quality standard of these companies will be more than the quality standard of companies which are considering 1.33 as capability index. Okay, so more than 1 is acceptable. Even companies, depending on their quality standard, they will set value maybe to 1.33 or even to 2. So a process capability index value of 2 represent, okay, so very good standard where they are producing, they are able to produce very high quality products. Using the capability index concept, we can measure quality. As I told you earlier, if some company is setting capability index as 2, that means that is the representation of very high quality. Okay, even if companies set capability index value to 1.33, okay, so even that is a good quality. Okay, so that is an indication of good quality. Okay, using the capability index concept, we can measure quality provided the process is centered. The larger the capability index, the better the quality. So here, so if company is able to producing products by keeping process capability index as 2, that means they are able to produce better quality products than companies which have kept process capability index value at 1.33. Larger the capability index, better the quality. We should strive to make the capability index as large as possible. So because we are able to get better quality, so there's a direct relation between capability index and quality. If you are able to increase this capability index value, you are able to increase the quality of the product. This result is accomplished by having realistic specifications and continual striving to improve the process capability. The capability index does not measure process performance in terms of the nominal or target value. This measure is accomplished by using CPK. Okay, so capability index will give you an idea about quality of the products. Okay, but it doesn't measure process performance. What is the performance of the process? In order to measure performance of the process, we make use of another equation, that is CPK, given by minimum of these two. Okay, you have to take difference of upper specification limit and average. Okay, so or difference of average and lower specification limit. Okay, so whichever is minimum, that you have to consider for this equation, divided by 3 sigma. Okay, the CPK value of 1 is the de facto standard, with some organizations using a value of 1.33. Okay, for capability index, default value is 1.33, but some organizations will fix it to 2. For CPK, that is process performance measuring index. Okay, so the default value is 1. Some organizations will fix it to 1.33. Okay, there are 3 cases where we can compare this capability index and performance index. Okay, So here consider the first case, case 1, upper specification limit. So this is the upper specification limit, this is the lower specification limit divided by 6 sigma. So Cp, you know the equation of Cp. So upper specification limit minus lower specification limit by 6 sigma will give you Cp. Okay. Now in this example, so this is the mean, or this is the target value, 1, 2, 3, 4 sigma. Okay, so at minus 4 sigma you have lower specification limit, and plus 4 sigma, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 4 sigma you have upper specification limit. Okay, so upper specification limit is 4 sigma plus 4, lower specification limit is minus 4. Okay, so 4 minus of minus 4, it will become 8 sigma. 8 sigma by 6 sigma, you will get 1.33. Okay, so that is the Cp value. For Cpk, you have another equation, minimum of upper specification limit minus, okay, so average x bar. So R x bar minus lower specification limit. Okay, using this equation you can find out Cpk also. Okay, so in this case also, if you substitute the values of upper specification limit and lower specification limit, that is 4 and minus 4, you will get Cpk 1.33. Next, suppose, so if it is off centered, okay, this is a process which is centered, because you are getting the peak at the mean. Okay, so here you are getting the peak at the target. Okay, where in this case process is off centered, that means so you are not getting mean. So at the target, you are not getting peak of the curve at the target, so it is shifted. Okay, so actually this is the target. Okay, so this is the target, but it has shifted. Okay, so because of this shift, so you can see the change in the value of performance indicator or performance index. Okay, where if you consider capability index, again the value is same, but if you consider the performance measure, it is different. Okay, so that's why there's a difference between capability and performance measure. So in another case, so upper specification limit and lower specification limit, so this is plus 3 sigma, lower specification limit is minus 3 sigma. Okay, so if you substitute, you will get Cp and Cpk as 1, 1. Okay, and again, if the process is off centered, again, instead of having mean at this location, okay, this is the center, this is the target, but process has shifted towards right. If it is off centered, then Cpk value will be less than 1, that is 0.67, whereas Cp value remain same. Next, if you consider one more case where, so you are considering only minus 2 sigma and plus 2 sigma, plus 2 sigma as upper specification limit and minus 2 sigma as lower specification limit. Okay, in this case you are getting capability index as 0.67 and performance measure index as 0.67. Okay, so next, if it is off centered, instead of having center at this location, okay, if it is off centered, then so the value of this performance indicator will fall from 0.67 to 0.33. Okay, based on these three observations, so you can conclude that the Cp value does not change as the process center changes. So in all the three cases, process center changes. Okay, so this is the actual process center, but it has shifted like this. Okay, here you can see Cp value remains same for both. Here also, this is the actual center, but it has shifted to this location, but CP value remain same. Here also CP value remains same, even though center has shifted. Okay, that is the meaning. The CP value, that is capability index value, does not change as the process center changes. CP equals CPK when the process is centered. Okay, in all the previous cases you can see. So this is when the process is centered, CP and CPK values are same. Here also process is centered, CP and CPK values are same. This is here process is not centered, it is half centered, and CP and CPK values are different. So here it is centered, CP, CPK values are same. CPK is always equal to or less than CP. So here you can see, here it is equal, here it is less. CP, here it is equal, less. Here it is equal and here it is less than CP. CPK is always equal or less than CP, and it is never greater than CP. Okay, CPK value will not exceed CP value. A CPK value greater than 1 indicates the process conforms to specifications. That's why default value will be 1. Some companies may fix it to 1.33 if they want better quality products, or if they want better process performance. Okay, a CPK value less than 1 indicates that the process does not conform to specifications. A CP value less than 1 indicates that the process is not capable. A CPK value of 0 indicates the average is equal to one of the specification limits. Negative CPK value indicates that average is outside the specifications. Okay, so these are the conclusions you can draw from the previous normal distribution curves by considering center and off center values.